Okay, Alan McCormick here for the fourth installment of How to Be a Novelist. I told you I would have a dickie, okay, cover up the bad throat. I got a tie on, all right, so professional, a lot better than what I was. And what I'm going to talk to you today about, and making a story, because the last one that I was involved with had to do with making the characters three-dimensional, and how you should go out and be involved with people, see how they communicate and feel and everything. Examine your own emotions, everything in your life, see how you are, and then that way, hopefully, you can find the words to bring all that out whenever you write them down, and it would make for a realistic and very good novel. But I have something that other writers do not have. Okay? Not just good taste in clothes. Absolutely not. No. You see this right here? This is nice. Brown background with a black tie. You can't beat that. White t-shirt, clean. I got it. But I've got something better than any other author on the planet has. And I'm going to show it to you. It's a secret. It's something that, if you get it, if you can find one in the universe, the entire universe, if you can find one, it will help you so much in writing books, novels, everything. No matter what. No matter what you want to write, it'll help you. Okay, you ready? I know everyone's excited, and I'm excited too to show you, but I'm going to let you see right here. All right, it's coming up, and I have a container. Yeah, I got it. See? I have a container. This right here is the single, look at it, isn't it beautiful? This is the single most important thing that you'll have in writing novels. You have to have a container. This container is not empty. See, this container can be anything that I want it to be. And it doesn't have to be just a clear container. You could have a rock, a stick. You could have anything, okay? But within this container, okay, there's a desert landscape that the wind's blowing across, and the wind hits the sand and makes a whistling noise. And underneath the sand, there's a tarantula, a big spider up underneath the sand trying to stay cool in the daytime. And right beside it, there's a big old lizard, and the lizard is staying cool underneath the sand in the daytime. And when the sun comes up, they're going to come out. Now, unknown to the lizard, the tarantula has decided, since he knows the lizard's there, he's going to eat him whenever he gets up. Unknown to the tarantula spider, the lizard knows he's there, and he's going to eat him when he gets up. So darkness falls, everything cools down, they pop up, and there's a horrific fight. Just, and they're on this container right here, and they're fighting as hard as they can. And look at the fight in there. Just look, it's in there. And they're fighting each other, and all this stuff's going on. And you know what happens? They kill each other. And then a snake comes along and eats them both. Go figure. It's in this container. There's a jungle in this container, and an ocean, and planets, and anything that you can think of inside of my container is in here. Okay? I've got things in here that are less in size than atoms. There are things that make up the molecules that create life from everything in the universe. Everything is in here. I've got a container. It's very, very important that you get a container, because then you never, ever run out of ideas. And they're in there. Look at that. It's just full. It's full up to here with things to write about. Everything. that you can imagine is in my container. Now, I would normally sell this for like $1,100 online at eBay or something like that, because this is phenomenal. Just touch it. It just gives you so much that you would not have. But as a writer, if you can find a container, okay, get that container, set it up, let it be where it needs to be, where you can look at it and say, okay, it's full of this. When people talk to me and find out how I really am, they find out that I'm full of stuff. I'm full of it. I'm full of it, coming up out of the top of my head, full of it. It's amazing. I can't describe it. It's just natural. It's a natural ability to be full of it. So you get a container, okay, then when you look at it like a crystal ball and you're seeing across everything and you're going, okay, what's in there? See? So get yourself a container and you'll never run out of stories to write. You will not. Okay, now continue on. Talking about the container. Okay, now put it down. Don't worry, it's mine. Can't have it. Okay, now put the container down. This is what I want you to understand. Now that you know how to flesh out your characters and you know what is going on with them as individuals, and they are very real to you and they matter and you're involved with them in a very real way, what you need to do is to realize within the container or context of the story what is motivating them, what gets them from point A to point B into different places in the story. And one of the things that we need to understand as writers is, just like within our own lives, okay, there's very little that we actually do on our own. Everything that comes at us is something great or something bad that we have to handle, and it pushes our lives in all these different directions. The story that you write has to do your characters the exact same way. Okay? So it's not just their decisions, it's all the decisions and things that are going around them. So you don't just make the characters three-dimensional, you make the world they live in three-dimensional. Like I said, when I showed you my container, I had the wind blowing, the sound of the wind, the description of what was going on, what happened in the story. I could have brought out how the spider felt and the lizard, all that stuff. I could have really gone in depth with all of that, and then I could have had the snake. He was hiding the whole time, knowing they'd kill each other, and then he came up and ate him, and ha ha ha, I'm the winner. Your container has to be three-dimensional, and it has to be something that everyone can relate to, especially your characters, and you pull them through that world. So the world moves them as you're putting it down, and what they're doing moves them. Okay? It's the same thing in all of our lives. Sometimes great things move us and get things done for us, and we go so happy, woo! And then other times it's just horrible. You have to deal with all of it. It's the way life is. So your story has to be the same way. So three-dimensional your characters, make them as real as possible. Three-dimensional the container that they're in, the story itself, make it fit them and the things that they can do, and make it as real as possible. If you don't do that, things will be lost. And what I mean by that is, you're watching a movie and everything's fine, all of a sudden you're like, this doesn't make sense. Why did they do this? Why did they do that? Well, the stage that they have the character set upon, the container itself, the story, does not match what's really going on with them. See, and then you get discombobulated and it's all messed up and you're thinking, okay, this doesn't make sense. I can't follow this anymore. That happens all the time, especially when you're doing something that is, involved. I like to deal with at least 3 or 4 different plots in a story. I don't do a single anything. In my stories, there's actually a character that will be presented at the beginning and at the end that is one of the very top characters that makes everything happen, but you don't know who they are. And I love to do that. And then if people are reading, and then they can go, well, this person is the one that really made all that happen. They're that hinge pin. They're the ones that were the driving force that enabled everything else to happen within the story. Okay, that is so very important that you have that in there. You can't be one-dimensional in anything. Okay, so you got to get that depth. You got to go, all right, if I'm standing outside in the grass barefooted, this is exactly what's going on. The wind's blowing, the grass feels this way, there are bugs in the grass, ants crawling up my leg, whatever. You've got to bring all that into it so that whenever your reader is involved with that situation, they'll go, I've been barefooted in the grass before and had ants crawling on my feet. I know what this individual's going through. You have to make it, even the far out space stuff that I've done, you've got to make it, bring it back in such a way as everyone can grasp it and go, okay, that's me. That could be me. So when you have your container and you have your world built, you build your world, you put the characters in there, and you want to make sure that as the people are reading the story, as best as you can. I am a novice. I'm trying. I'm continuing to write all the time. I want to get better. But you want to have everything in relation to another human being reading your story and going, that could be me. That could be me in that situation. If your character cries, you want the people reading the book to cry. If your character's happy, you want the people reading the book to be happy. You want all that. It just don't make it like, there's nothing worse on this earth as far as taste and texture than rice cakes. They're just bad. I'm sorry, okay, and not anything against the rice cake. They're feeling they're fine. Okay, fine. Your story can't be a rice cake. It has to be real. So, just like I told you, when people hear me talk about my characters, they'll go, man, you really believe they're real. Yes, I do. And then whenever I talk about the world that I built for them to be in, they go, well, you talk about that like it's real. Yes, it is. The world is real. The characters are real. Everything that's going on is real. They're not fake. They're there. They live. They exist. All the stuff that's happening to them is really happening within the timeline that I built and set up for them to be in. Okay? You have to do the same thing. It's not easy. There's nothing easy about this. It takes practice. It takes failure after failure. And I'll tell you later on in the next one how to look at your stuff objectively so that whenever you come back to it, let me tell you something. The first book that I wrote and decided to publish was so awful. There were parts of it that were genius, and there were other parts that were so bad. I could not believe it, that I even had it out there. And there's copies of the same works that other people have that maybe will never be seen in public. It just, no. Okay? That's why I like self-publishing, because you can go back and fix it. You know what I mean? If someone else owns your stuff and says, hey, this is what we're running with, you're stuck. But if you self-publish, which I happen to use Amazon, if you self-publish, then you can unpublish the book, go in, make changes, and make it another edition, second edition, third edition, whatever. Even change the titles. They don't like for you to do that, but it's my stuff. I don't care. Okay, this is my world right here. This is what I live in. My world's going to go according to how I want it while I'm in it. Sorry. It's just the way I am. It's the way I've always been. I'll be that way forever. But the situation is with that, and I'll get into self-publishing a lot more in another one, but you have an opportunity to make the changes that you want to make. And remember, all you novelists out there, every single human being is a novelist. Every single human being can write something. There's as much room for you in this world as there is space on a computer hard drive. Just that simple. You may not get rich. I am not rich. I am not famous. I am not anything. I am just me, but I'm having a heck of a good time. Okay? So why should you live in a world that's constantly messed up? That's all we hear, when you can sit down, have a good time, and create your own. What better way to manage your mental well-being than to pull yourself out of all the crap that we're hearing 24/7? Because that's all we hear. We don't hear anything else. That's all that's on everywhere. Okay? So get back to what's important on this. Make your characters three-dimensional, real to you, real to everyone else. Make the environment that you're putting them in, the world, real to you, real to everyone else. Okay? It all has to work that way. It's very important. Practice. Figure it out. Look at it. Change words here or there. Whatever it takes. If you're not happy with it, fix it. Fix it. You're not using a manual typewriter where there's 20 realms of paper you've already gone through, and you always see the picture of the guy on the movie or TV, and there's balls of paper all around the trash can because he can't even get past the first line. Forget it. If you can't do the first line, do the second one. Go back and fix the first line. You don't need the first line. What you need is to start. What you need is for your stuff to be real. And you can do it. If I can do it, if an idiot like me, I am not wrapped right at all, can do this stuff and get anything close to being decent, you can do it. I'm telling you right now. Okay, use me as the example. This is a nut who will wear this and talk to you about writing novels. Okay? The example I'm trying to show you, it's not the outside that matters. It's the inside world that you create. All right? That's the most important thing. So, get out there, get on your computer, whatever you're using, and write your story and have a good time. Okay? Bye.